Hi, it's been a while, I know, so I thought I'd give you a little update on where I am with my metal detecting, roundup of the year, and my first visit to the FLO, my Fines Liaison Officer. Don't know about you, but I watch a lot of other YouTube videos. I'm on a lot of the Facebook sites for detecting, and the FLO have seemed to have such a bad rep, and the portable antiquity scheme, and people saying, you know, you take your things and you'll never see them again and all the rest of it. So obviously I know the treasure laws and I do keep an eye on them, but I hadn't really had anything that was important that I felt was necessary to go. So I kind of been thinking, oh, I'll take things when it comes to it. But last year I did have one incredible find, which for me was terribly exciting. I'll just show you it. I will put a bigger picture because this tiny weeny little coin, I don't know if you can see it, so I'll read out because I sent it to Chris Rudd, who specialises in this type of coin, because obviously I have an agreement with the farmer that anything over 100 we split 50-50, and I knew when I found it that it was something special. What made me smile was I'm really methodical about how I detect. I have a friend and we laugh because she's a wanderer all over and I'm a grid. Everything really slow, really steady. And I just like to stop every now and then and look at the sky and listen to the birds and everything like that. So that's my happy place. But I'd been told I could go into the new field. So I literally wasn't even dressed for detecting, and I was just on my way past, and I thought I'd just pop in, have 20 minutes and see what's on the field. And I literally found that, and I also found this little buckle, which is actually a little zoomorphic buckle. There's a animal's face there on the end of it. In 20 minutes I have been back for hours and hours and hours on that field and not found anything like that again. So it was just a day for the detecting gods to smile on me. But that little coin is a pin main proto-boar silver unique struck by the Coriotovi tribe. My pronunciation could be wrong. And they're looking at about 55 to 45 BC. Well, I was absolutely made up about that. That was just so exciting. I'm not sure whether I was more excited because it had a horse on it and I love horses, or because of the age, but it really affirmed for me as a detectorist that if you do just take your time, even with my little Vanquish 340, things are out there. And I think since then my confidence has grown. I've had some really nice little Roman coins off the field, nice condition. The other day I find this is a nice early piece as well. I've still got to have that confirmed, but we think that's part of a brooch. So it's, and again, a nice early one as well. All these things, the history, it just fascinates me. And literally a day before Christmas, it was 23rd of December, I was out and I found a little silver sixpence, and I just think, how cool was that? That was just ready for Christmas. We all joked about it going in the Christmas pudding, but I didn't actually do that this year. But it doesn't really matter whether it's a value or what it is. It just makes me so happy to find it. I mean, when it's really bad weather, I will go to the beach, but it's not the same. It's about the history of the land for me, and watching this progression, if you like, from the really early through the Roman, through the medieval to the 1800s. I just find it fascinating. So I picked out 5 things, and I haven't got it here with me because it's actually with the FLO at the minute, but I then decided to go back out onto my own paddock for a little while, and just to double check it, because part of it was up for sale because it's building plots. There was a footpath and there had been an old dike which had been filled in years ago by my dad, who was the farmer, and I just thought I'll flip over it. Well, it's full of aluminium cans because it's next to the road. We're on a coastal road and everybody just chucks the rubbish out into the field. So, and then if you hit them with a mower, obviously you get lots of those lovely little shredded bits that sound like amazing things, and they're not. So I went and I was digging, and there was a bit of me that was like, 20 cans later, but I just thought, just do it. And I dug, and I couldn't find what it was. A banging signal, but it just sounded like a big piece of aluminium, and I just thought, you know what, I filled the hole back in, and there's something in my spidey senses said go back, and I'm so pleased I did, because I pulled out a papal bulla, which is basically the seal from the Pope of that time. So why would that be in my little field in a village in Lincolnshire from Pope Martin IV, who is, this is it here. I have a little book and I keep all my finds and where I found them, because I'm an anorak and I love doing things like that. But that's Pope Martin IV from 1281 to 1285 he was Pope. So you could literally just date it for those 4 years. And to think that one of his, what they called him, mercenaries or whatever, messengers, came along and walked across the land that we're now on, and that just blows me away. And I had some fun because both of these, my coin that I was so chuffed to find and that, they were like bucket listers for me. Never thought in my lifetime I'd find them. So I had fun entering competitions, and I won that little finds box there from one of the Facebook pages, which is brilliant because you just press a button and it pops up. So cold hands, not an issue. That was from ID My Find. And then I got a special mention from the National Council for Metal Detecting for their November competition for my coin. So it just makes it really good fun, and I'm really enjoying it. So let me tell you about the FLO. My lovely Finds Liaison Officer is called Megan, and she's based at Lincoln, which is about an hour's drive for me. So I picked out 5 of the things that I thought were possibly interesting that they'd like to record, and I went to meet her. She couldn't have been more lovely. She explained the process. Basically, I took them all in little bags. Now, another thing that had been putting me off, when I first started, though I pinpoint things on my makeshift way of recording, I hadn't actually got the coordinates, because they want what 3 words or the actual grid reference number. And that again had been putting me off, because it's like, well, I didn't record that. What I did find was, though, the NCMD, the National Council for Metal Detecting, I've got the app on my phone now. So wherever I am and I dig something, I literally take a picture of it there in my glove at the time, even if I don't know what it is, and then that immediately saves the coordinates for me. What I didn't know was I could go back onto that map and I could pinpoint where I'd been and input finds that I'd found earlier. So once I kind of got that out of the way and I wasn't worried anymore, I just put them all in like little freezer bags, and then off I went, and we sat down. And it's so much fun having somebody else to geek out over your stuff, because it's like you get really excited and your family are like, oh, that's nice. I mean, they're all pretty excited by the coin and the paper bullet, but when it comes to other things, they're a bit like, oh, that's nice. So somebody else go, oh yes. And even my fragments of pottery, I found one piece of worked flint, things like that. I'm fascinated by it. So it was lovely having somebody else there to have it. And I will be honest, I've literally just been back and taken my next lot of things in and picked my others up, and it was a 3-month turnaround. These were voluntary. I love the fact now I can sign into the page for the Portable Antiquity Scheme, into the database, and everything that I've taken in is linked to my ID, so I can just pop on there, show them, and then I print them off, and it's a really nice keepsake, because my book of finds, if you like, is something that I do for the farmer. So now I can print off. So this is one of my seal matrices, not such a good one, but it was still really interesting, and then from the database. So it's a lovely record for me to give to the farmer. He gets to see what I found. We have an agreement anyway where I WhatsApp him a picture afterwards. Every time I detect, I literally WhatsApp whatever I've got. Rubbish, because part of my deal is picking up the rubbish as well, and any finds. And then later it's nice to be able to say, oh, this is what it actually was. So I'm finding the whole process really interesting, really exciting. They give you a sheet, so when you pick them up, this is what you've dropped off. When I go back, and so I think Lincolnshire is very lucky. We do have more staff within that the antiquity scheme, and they're all so approachable, lovely and knowledgeable. I'm really good, because when I was sorting through my interesting stones, my piles of flint, you know, the patience they have with me to tell me why that's not why that's natural, when they believe it is a worked piece of flint. I'm learning so much. So to have that knowledge, which is basically free, is absolutely invaluable, and then to have that lovely record of all the finds. So I don't know what it's like for other people in other areas, but I honestly say, don't hold back, go. And even if they don't want to record it, at least you've had that opportunity to show them, and it starts to really build a really good picture. And I think especially it was very sad, because there's just been a recent court case, very well within Lincolnshire still, at Grantham, of a chap that was a YouTube vlogger who was buying things off eBay and then putting them through the portable antiquity scheme to say he'd found them in this area, and obviously he got found out, and it's just really sad that he felt he needed to do that, obviously wasn't getting enough fines up to be able to keep the vlogs going, but that's not what it's all about. So I think that's really sad. I think it's been a big knock for the archaeologists, a big knock for the people on the scheme, all that are working really hard. So to have something that's suddenly appeared that's totally out of context, starts to rewrite the history of your area, and then find out it's totally wrong, must be soul destroying for them. And it's also saying not for all of us as detectorists. So I'm no goody two shoes, but I'm enjoying the process of voluntarily taking in my finds. When I find the hoard, I'll be back to tell you all about it. I live in hope, hey? But I'm so excited to see what other people find as well. So it's really keeping me going. Now let's talk about detectors. I have got that basic Vanquish 340, which I adore, absolutely adore it. The new Vanquish is coming out soon. I am looking at the 600 series, and I do think I might upgrade to their waterproof one, basically, and the top one this time. And you know, I think that could well be me peaking, if you like. And I can't remember who said it, I would love to credit them, but they were kind of saying the Vanquish series is a bit like if you looked at cars, and the 340 would be like driving an automatic Mini, and the Manticore would be like driving a Formula 1 car. I know my limit. I've got a Land Rover Discovery, but it's automatic. So I'm going to stick with my automatics. I like my turn on and go, and I'm very happy. I mean, I'm doing a 30-acre field with an 8-inch coil, and it's just in my happy place. So it's whatever works for you, but I don't think you should ever feel pressured to get the next one, because why overwhelm yourself? My brain doesn't work with lots of buttons and twiddly, technology. We're not, you probably noticed from my vlogs, me and technology aren't great. But make sure you're still enjoying it, because that is the most important bit on actually what it's all about. So I hope you all had a brilliant year last year. I'm so looking forward to the new year, and I wish you all a very happy new year and lots of exciting finds. Thank you.